Your woman will tell you that she wants certain things.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know. She is lying to you when she says, I want you around all the time. You got to be home. You got to be with the kids. You got to blah, 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 blah. Then you do that because you think, oh, that's what my woman wants. I want to provide. I want to be there. I want to be the loving husband or the father. And then 6 months go by, a year go by, and you become the man that you don't become the man that you were. And she looks at you and be like, this isn't the guy that I fell in love with. So yeah, because you've turned me into this. You have to remember, like, maybe what your woman wants, it's like, it's not actually real, you know, because we are, again, fed all this information by mainstream media and all these films that we watch and these products. Like, okay, when you have kids, you say, no, I completely, having gone through it and gone through the cycle, I believe that I'm talking about Tate, so what Tate is saying and what the mainstream media is saying, I think the happiness lies in the middle. You know, for everyone. Everyone is on a different part of the agenda, right? So maybe just live with your brother and never have a woman in your life and never be there. And maybe that's what you need to do if you want to become the most influential man in the world, which he literally is, right? But if you want to just be happy and live a nice life and you don't want to go the other way where you spend all the time with your woman and your kids, because then you become a fat, docile piece of shit.
Exactly.
So you need to be in the middle. So again, getting balance of those four traits. But for me, the lover comes last. And if you need the other three in place. So that was just a bit of advice. If you will, it's so complicated because your woman and your kid, you will feel this urge that you need to be there because she's saying you need to be there. And you're like, okay, I want to be there. And that's what I did. The good husband, I'm home, changing diapers, doing all that sort of stuff. And then she'll look at you and they'll be like, who the fuck is this? I didn't marry this guy. It's like, no. So because you become weaker, you know, you don't want to become weaker. Trust me, it is a lie. It is an absolute lie. So when that lie comes, because it will come, and she said, you have to be the man and be like, remember we talk about boundaries and being able to say no. You have to have the confidence in your soul that, no, I'm not doing that. That's your job. You're going to look after the kids because that's your job. My job is to do X, Y, and Z. And as long as you are providing the necessary things, obviously love and everything else, she'll be happy with that. But if you're too scared, this is what I was, not scared my wife was going to leave me, but scared I wasn't being the father or being the man that I should be, and people were going to look down on me. So I had to change the diapers and do all this crap. It's like, I did that for my first kid because I thought that's what I had to do. Yeah. But then when I realized, no, this is actually making me weaker, that my second child, I didn't do any of that. You know, I didn't do any, and my wife's never been happier. So it's like, it's a weird dynamic because they'll tell you to do something. You think that's what you should do because society tells you to do it, but she's only telling you to do it because society are telling her that you need to do it. So she's like, oh, no, to be a good dad, you need to be here and you need to change diapers. No, to be a good dad, I got to do X, Y, and Z. And I have to be the best version of myself. And then when you get those opportunities to open up and be the lover and be the provider, you know, and they'll come every day, you know, but you don't want to, this is, again, completely my opinion. That is how, for me, from child 1 to child 2 has been completely different. And the understanding the roles in our family is so much more important because otherwise you just become a weak, like, she doesn't look at you the same. And then that's
beautiful, brother. And that you went through that process, like from personal experience, you know, first changing diapers was your first one, like, and having to now find that sweet spot, I think is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and everyone's sweet spot's different. Everyone's in a different situation. But that again, we talk about like sex and like that spark. That goes when you become some loser that's just at home all the time watching Netflix and changing diapers. No woman wants that. No woman wants that. As much as they say they do, as much as they'll say to you, oh, you're like, I'm away all the time. She'll say to me, oh, you're always away. Yep. I got shit to do. I got to go out and hunt. I got to go out and provide. I'm the warrior. You know, and that's what women want. They want the warrior, right? They want the king. They want their king and they want that warrior. They don't want the lover all the time. You know, so it's like, that's my personal experience, what I have found.
I really agree with what you say. And I think, again, this is, by the way, our masculine imperative. I think this is our duty as a man to show up, to go out there and hunt. I don't think this is a negotiable. The main conversation here, what we need to talk about also is that our kids are in danger. They live in a society that is weak, that is feminine, where our culture teaches our boys that they need to be more feminine, or they start to learn about transgenderism at 6, 7. So how do we protect them from that? Well, it is to show up, to also be there, to also show them that there is a dad that teaches them things, right? To even homeschool, if you will. That doesn't mean necessarily changing diapers. It means showing up, showing them a hierarchy in the household, that there is a leader and that there is one that needs to be respected as such, as the mother, and that hierarchy needs to be in place. And that is, I think, where I'm coming from. Whereas, like, if you're always gone, right, and if that's necessary because number one, you need to provide, you need to protect everything. So, of course. But if you have a position where you can be home, you can homeschool, and you can show them the hierarchy. As an example, where do you see a dinner table where everybody just sits together, right? And we talk about how was your day. These days, you see kids with the iPad. You see them on their phone. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want to ask, I want to talk. I want to have a moment during the day. And again, I'm going to be there soon, May next year. So I might have this conversation with you again next year and we have a different conversation. Because at the end of the day, it's about personal experience and you change. But I have this idea in my mind. I want to sit at the dinner table at least once a day with my family and not have cell phones or iPads. No, we're going to pay attention to each other. We're going to respect each other, right? And I want to give that to my children.
And I think being able to install that hierarchy is what I'm talking about. And that takes a certain type of man. And a man that's run businesses and a man that's lived can do that. And that's what I think is missing, is the confidence to install a hierarchy where you say, this is how it is. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. Because it's fucking hard. Trust me. Trust me. Like this whole mentality, it's admirable. What you just said is admirable, and I hope you achieve it, and I'm sure you will. But for you to be able to achieve that, you need to have the confidence to stand there and say, "This is how we're going to do it." And when she says, "Yeah," but no, we're doing this, and the only way she'll do that is if she respects you as a man and goes, "Okay, you're the leader of the pack. We're going to do what you say." But now the society is saying, no.
Exactly.
I want this and I want that. So there's a lot of steps to it. And the iPad thing is funny because me and my wife talk about this quite a lot. But every person before they have kids, they say like, "Oh, why every time I go to a restaurant, I see kids with the iPad, and my kids aren't going to do that." Good luck, bro.